So this morning, one of the biggest challenges that I have for you guys is to not necessarily memorize the things that I'm going to tell you today. Instead, I want for you to think about them logically. So for example, I'm going to use this space here in the middle. If you know that you have sides of, let's say, 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 6 centimeters, and if somebody were to ask you if those three lengths could make up a triangle, if you think about putting those 2 centimeters and those 4 centimeters side by side, that's going to give you a whole length of 6, because when you add those together, you get 6. Now, will those become a triangle? No, that's going to become a straight line. So what would need to be true about one of these two pieces of this is that it would need to be larger, because you need to have the sum of those two things larger than that third side of 6 in this case, to be able to create that kind of angle to make a triangle. Okay, so when you guys are looking at these numbers up above, is it a triangle? The key is you are going to take the two smallest sides and you are going to add them together, and you want to see if those two smallest sides added together are larger than the third. So for example, you want to add 8 plus 17, which gives you 25. And since 25 is larger than 24, it is going to be a triangle. All right, so again, because 25 is larger than 24, those can form a triangle. If we look at number 2, if we add the two smallers, so 3 plus 3, that gets us 6. So if you think about it logically, if you have 3 centimeters and another 3 centimeters, that's not even going to get you to the full length of 7 centimeters. So there's no way that that's going to make a triangle. So that is going to be a no. So when you look at number 3, you have 25 plus 12, which gives you 37. And again, that's larger than the other number of 35. So yes, that's going to give us a triangle. I'm going to look right below at number 5. Number 5 is a little bit unique because if you add 28 and 22, those two together equal 50. Now, that sum needs to be larger than the third number. And so if we look, it's not larger than, it's equal to. And so since it's equal to, it's not going to be a triangle, because again, that's going to form that straight line that we kind of talked about at the very beginning. So take a minute, try out number 4, try out number 6, and let's see what you come up with for an answer. So hopefully you got that this one is a yes, and hopefully you got that this one is also a yes. So that kind of serves as a check. Hopefully you did those correctly. If you're looking at finding a range for the third side, so if you look at 14 and 22, again, if you think about this logically, if we do 14 and 22 back to back, those are going to give us a total of 36. So we know that the high end of the range is 36. It cannot be equal to, because again, that's going to form us a straight line. Now the only thing is 22 could be the largest number. So we could have 14 and then 22 could be this length. So the question would be, what's this gap? And so to get that number, you subtract. So to do 22 minus 14, that's going to give us 8, and 22 plus 14 is going to give us 36. So we know that third value is going to fall somewhere in between those two values. So again, to get the low end, you subtract. To get the high end, you add. Again, notice those are not equal to. They have to be in between, but not equal to 8 and 36. So we look over at number 10. If we subtract 31 and 28, we get 3. That's the low end. If we add 31 and 28, we get 59. And so that's going to be the high end. So that means that that third side has to be somewhere between the numbers of 3 and 59. Same thing for number 11. We're going to subtract 3 and 11. We get 8. We're going to add 3 and 11 to get 14. So that tells us that third side length has to fall somewhere between the numbers of 8 and 14. So again, take a minute, try number 12. Let's see what we come up with. All right, now the other piece of this. So far we've looked at how do we tell it's a triangle given the 3 sides? How do we figure out the possibilities for a third side giving 2 side lengths? And then the third thing that we're looking at today is how do you order either angles or sides given information? And so what I want for you to do is I want you to think about this again logically. So if you are standing at N and you have this 24 in between your arms, is that going to be a bigger angle or a smaller angle than if you are standing at, say, M, and you've got the 17 value in between your arms? Okay, pretend like you're holding your arms straight out. When you look at that, the 17 is going to be a narrower opening in between your arms, thus making a smaller angle. So when you are ordering the angles from least to greatest, what you're going to do is you're going to find the smallest side first. Okay, we're going least to greatest. The angle across from that is your smallest angle, so angle M. If you look at the next smallest side, that's 20. The angle across from that is going to be your next smallest side, so angle P. And then obviously the biggest side here is across from the biggest angle, angle N, and there you go. All right, if you look at number 2, same concept, we're going least to greatest, so you find the smallest side, the angle across from that, or that forms that, is angle T. You go to the second smallest, which is 35, the angle across from that is R, and then last but not least, angle S is across from the biggest side. If we look at number 3, notice we just have to read, okay? This one is greatest to least. So instead of finding the smallest side first, we're finding the largest side. The largest side is across from angle C. Then you go to the next largest side, which is this 9. That's across from angle B. And then you have angle D as a final angle. Okay, so try out number 4. List those angles from greatest to least. All right, if you look at number 3, okay, set 3 here, so number 5. This one is the similar idea, it's just ordering your sides from least to greatest. Now, if you notice your angles, you are actually missing an angle. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to find your missing angle. And so 180 minus 31 minus 57, that's going to give us the third angle of 92 degrees. Okay, so now, again, we have to make sure we read carefully. We're going from least to greatest. So we find the smallest angle, and the side across from that is our smallest side. So we have KL. The next smallest angle is 57. The side across from that is JK. And then last but not least, we've got the biggest angle. The side across from that is JL. Same thing for number 6 here. We need to find our missing side or missing angle by subtracting from 180 first. We are still going least to greatest, so we find our smallest angle first. The side across from that is ST. The next smallest angle is 59, so the side across from that is SB. And then last but not least, we've got the biggest angle across from that is TB. Okay? We're not going to do both of these because I'm confident you guys are getting this. So number 7 here, we have to subtract from 180 to get our missing angle. So we have 44. Notice our directions say from greatest to least instead of least to greatest. So our first thing that we need to do is find our largest side because we're going greatest to least. The side opposite of that is XZ. Our next greatest angle is 54. The side opposite of that is YZ. And last but not least, we've got angle Z forming side YX. Okay? So, as always, guys, ask questions if you have them. I'm going to have you guys summarize kind of the information that we just did here at the end within this video. As always, guys, please, please, please reach out if you need anything. Hopefully that'll make sense, and have a great one. Thanks.